Hi, how's it going? Today we are gonna talk about the motif key improvisation of João Donato. I would like to say a little more about João Donato because um, he's a very interesting and full of swing composer in Brazilian music. Some people that doesn't know Brazilian music sometimes will get a little confused about João Donato. And why this happens? Sometimes they think he's a Cuban composer because he has some influences of the Cuban music. Some people says he is a jazz player with Latin influence, and I think it's different from that. It's and what could I say about João Donato first? If I would tell something, just one thing about his music, it's very Brazilian. Brazilian music with a lot of swing, with a little influence, of Caribbean music, alright? But João Donato has much more. One thing I think it's interesting is that he has very good voicings at the piano, very rich chords. He has some full textures of voicings that I think it's one interesting characteristic of his work. And I would say an experience that I had when I knew the João Donato songs is that when you read a lead sheet or a score of the music of João Donato, you're gonna get impressed, but not because of the complexity. You're gonna get impressed with the simplicity these compositions has, because most of them will have just one melodical motif, and with this motif you have the whole composition. The motif changes the intervals, the motif changes the relation with the chords, but it's so simple. Most people that see a lead sheet of João Donato, we're gonna think it's a very simple composition without any interest. And if you don't hear his compositions, you won't get the surprise. I took so many time to hear them and they understand his capability. It's very expressive in terms of rhythm. Simple things, but with a lot of richness in the rhythm. And it's not complex rhythm. We don't have polyrhythms. Also, they are so easy to play. But I think his secret is on the swing. All right. I apologize to say so many times the same thing, but I really think it's important, a really important characteristic of his composition. All right. Donato has some harmonizations. I would like to say also that made his language also easy to recognize. For example, I would like to say, if we get a common 2-5-1, played in bossa nova. This is the 251 of C, again in bossa nova. Let's put an chord of preparation. That will be the A7. His harmonization for that would be like that. I changed all the bass, besides playing D minor, G7 and C major and A7 to make the preparation. I was playing F with A on the bass, F minor major 7 with A flat on bass, C major with G on bass, and besides the A7 flat 9 flat 13th. That's a very common chord in Brazilian music. He uses B minor 6, B flat minor 6. The result is awesome. It's very interesting. Donato has also voicings in the higher register. Register that are very here in Brazil we use the term fat because it's full of richness, full of sound. For example, this progression. Sounds very interesting. I'm gonna show you some compositions of João Donato to you see this melodic thing I'm telling about. For example, we have one composition called Aham, translating the English name is The Frog. Look, hear the melody. I'm gonna put one the harmony to you see. So it goes, and the whole composition is done just with this rhythmic motif. We have also one composition called Brisa do Mar. we have? We have a paz. It means the peace. I'm sorry. The motifs are always simple, very simple. His improvisation is surprisingly simple also. I took a certain time to recognize how genius is this composition, doing so much with so few things, so few elements. One thing I would like to say also about João Donato, he plays in a style it's very common in his arrangements. He used one style that we call, I heard about who told me this was the pianist Salomão Soares. He uses a rhythm called calango. It's a kind of samba because we have syncopations. Note that the notes are in the upbeat. Ta 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 ta. It can be slower. This could be a samba. But it has a difference on the bass, in the bass. Sometimes it's common in this calango style. In the B section of the composition, the style evolves to a samba. These are the styles, and today I would like to talk a little about the composition called Amazonas. Amazonas is where is found the rainforest, and João Donato was born in Acre. It's a state that makes frontier with Amazonas, the city of Amazonas that, like I said, has the rainforest that we call Floresta Amazônica. And he did this composition. Look, see the melody. It's very repetitive. samba. This Latin and let's talk about his improvise. Like I said, he's surprisingly simple in his improvise, but I think it's marvelous. It sounds very, very good. It's very natural to hear and easy, even for non musicians, because he takes, for example. I use one rhythmic motif, I change to another, went to another, and sometimes I like to practice this simplicity in my playing. Another thing I think it's interesting in the João Donato style is that sometimes we don't hear passing tones. Melodies are very rustic, and I think it's a very interesting characteristic of his song. Let me do some other chorus, and I'm gonna research what I remind is important to play in to your practice, alright? Interesting thing, two things about his music. He used sometimes some blues cliches, blue notes, but all the time thinking this rhythmic style, all right. But you will recognize this blues pattern, and some of you could ask me, but you are always talking about you don't use blue notes and don't search for this style. And João Donato is older than this way of thinking the Brazilian music. He became known in the musical world in the 60s. He's still alive doing shows, and I've heard a live of him some days before, and in his in the period he was appearing to the with his music, this concept was not born yet. Another thing about what I would say about his song, I forgot. Let me remind. I'm gonna return to say to you what he does. About his music is that sometimes he does some Cuban cliches, for example, or some cells that remind us of the Cuban style. These are not transcribed ideas I've done of him. This I'm doing with the sensations I had about his music, and I'm trying to apply in my way. All right, and I did the last chorus also. I've done with a rhythmic improvisation. You're gonna see sometimes he doesn't think more in melody but just in rhythm. The notes are very simple, but he has some strong chords being used. Other thing that I remind of him, you don't hear he plays some scale also. All right, you don't see this kind of this kind of quick phrases. He used few notes, like I said. I remind what I wanted to say. There are some times that his improvise are the rhythmic patterns of Brazilian music, even his compositions. We have one, there is one song. Can use this as I improvise also. Take some patterns of samba. In my course about the Brazilian accent improvisation, you're gonna see a lot of patterns that you can apply in your improvise to give this to create the rhythmic language of the Brazilian music. All right. So, for example, I'm improvising in this Amazona themes. Play a melodic instrument. Let me do one melody without this chords, this lots of chords. Okay, let me do a little simple. Sorry. So I think these were of the main ideas, I think, of the sound of João Donato's sound. All right, I'm gonna do a little last improvise. Let me see who is writing to me. Thanks, Francois. Thanks for coming and watching. And let me do a last improvise today to show what I think about João Donato. Alright? I hope you have enjoyed this content. return to the theme. All right. So I think you have. I hope you have enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Hear the sounds of João Donato. It's very inspiring, and will change your concept of playing notes, a lot of notes, and doing rich improvisation with few elements. So that was it. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow for more quick tips and lives. Bye. João Donatinho. Encerrar agora.